The 323rd Infantry Regiment was a hard-fighting regiment of the United States Army during the Second World War, serving with distinction as part of the 81st Infantry Division, known as the Wildcat Division. Unlike many units that fought across Europe, the men of the 323rd faced the unforgiving realities of the Pacific War: jungle combat, fortified island defenses, and an enemy determined to fight to the last man. From the coral ridges of Angkor to the jungles of the Philippines, the 323rd Infantry Regiment played a crucial role in the Allied advance toward Japan. Formation and activation. The 323rd Infantry Regiment was activated on August 1, 1942 at Camp Rucker, Alabama, alongside the rest of the 81st Infantry Division. Its ranks were filled largely with draftees and volunteers from across the United States, many of whom had never traveled far from home before entering military service. Training began under experienced regular Army officers who emphasized discipline, physical endurance, and adaptability, qualities essential for combat in the Pacific. From the outset, it was clear that the regiment would be expected to operate in difficult terrain under extreme conditions. Stateside training. Throughout late 1942 and 1943, the 323rd Infantry Regiment trained extensively in the southeastern United States, including Camp Rucker and Camp McCoy, Wisconsin. Training focused on jungle and amphibious warfare techniques, small unit infantry tactics, live-fire exercises, coordination with artillery and armor, extended marches, and endurance training. By early 1944, the regiment had developed strong unit cohesion and was judged ready for overseas service. Deployment to the Pacific Theater. The regiment deployed to the Pacific Theater in May 1944, moving first to Hawaii for final staging and amphibious training. There, the men rehearsed landings under combat conditions, fully aware that their next beaches would be defended by a determined and well-prepared enemy. In September 1944, the 323rd Infantry Regiment sailed west toward its first major objective, the Palau Islands. The Battle of Angkor. On September 17, 1944, the 323rd Infantry Regiment landed on the island of Angkor, part of the Palau Group. Unlike the heavily fortified Peleliu, Angkor was defended by a smaller but fanatical Japanese garrison that used caves, ridgelines, and jungle cover to resist the invasion. The regiment faced rugged coral terrain, dense vegetation, extreme heat and humidity, well-concealed enemy positions. Fighting was close, brutal, and methodical. Japanese defenders relied on ambushes and underground positions, forcing American infantry to clear the island yard by yard. The 323rd Infantry Regiment adapted quickly, employing flamethrowers, demolitions, and coordinated infantry-artillery attacks. After weeks of relentless combat, Angkor was declared secure in October 1944. The regiment's success allowed Allied engineers to construct airfields that would support operations deeper into the Pacific. Transition to the Philippines. Following Angkor, the 323rd Infantry Regiment remained in the Palau Islands, conducting mopping-up operations and security patrols. Though organized resistance had ended, isolated Japanese soldiers continued to pose a threat. In early 1945, the regiment redeployed to the Philippines, landing on Leyte. There, the nature of combat shifted from island assault to jungle and mountain warfare. Combat on Leyte. On Leyte, the 323rd Infantry Regiment was tasked with clearing rugged interior terrain where Japanese forces had withdrawn to prepared defensive positions. Combat conditions were harsh: steep hills and dense jungle, torrential rain, and mud disease and exhaustion. Japanese resistance was stubborn, relying on terrain and concealment rather than large-scale attacks. The regiment conducted aggressive patrols, ambushes, and coordinated sweeps to destroy remaining enemy units. By mid-1945, organized Japanese resistance on Leyte had largely collapsed. Final operations and the end of the war. As the war neared its end, the 323rd Infantry Regiment transitioned to occupation and security duties, overseeing captured territory and maintaining order. When Japan surrendered in August 1945, the regiment had completed every mission assigned to it. The men of the 323rd had endured months of combat far from home, often under conditions more punishing than enemy fire itself. The legacy of the 323rd Infantry Regiment is one of endurance, adaptability, and quiet determination. The regiment did not fight in headline-grabbing battles alone, but in the grinding, dangerous operations that made ultimate victory possible. On Angkor, the 323rd secured a critical foothold in the Central Pacific. In the Philippines, it helped finish the long and costly campaign to liberate the islands. Through heat, jungle, and coral ridges, the regiment proved the effectiveness of American infantry operating under the harshest conditions imaginable. The story of the 323rd Infantry Regiment stands as a testament to the soldiers who fought a relentless enemy in an unforgiving environment and prevailed.